Well, good evening, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great Friday evening. I'm here at the Red Brick House getting ready for our live stream. Doesn't the wall look nice and bright and clean and everything else? Doesn't look like cracked plaster. We getting there done. I am ready for my live stream here in about another 30 minutes or so, and I have to give a shout out to Damn Gina for keeping me in the loop. Been busy running around doing all kinds of stuff here at the Red Brick House as well as at my in-laws' house and things, trying to handle business. Micah Parsons, you know, Micah Parsons has something that's very, very similar to, I want to say, Charles Haley. Although their styles are a little bit different, they're both motivators. See, I can say I know Charles Haley from playing with him at JMU. And back in the days of JMU, this is before JMU was, a national powerhouse in Division I AA. We didn't do a lot of winning back in those days. We'd win four, good year, maybe 5 games. It was still in the infancy of JMU football. Doesn't mean we didn't have some good players, because again, Charles Haley, 5 Super Bowl rings, 2 with San Francisco and 3 with Dallas. Charles was about winning. And I think the problem he had in San Francisco was when they lost, Charles owned winning. And see, Charles is one of those people that if you ain't about winning and doing everything to win, I'm coming after you. I don't care if you're on my team or not. And that was a motivating factor for him as well as the people around him. Because you were afraid of losing and having to deal with Charles more than the guy on the other side of the field. And when San Francisco lost big games, you stole something from Charles Haley, and Charles don't like people stealing from him. Micah Parsons is motivating that way too. You heard him earlier today when I did my morning video where he was talking about how he felt like he wore down at the end of the season, so he put on more bulk, more mass to make sure that he can play through that season to be that game wrecker. And he has no bones about talking about what his goals and aspirations are, being Super Bowl. He was asked about his contract, his next contract. He's still on his rookie one, so next year we're going to be talking about paying him. What he said was this: I just know if we win this Super Bowl, I don't have to worry about anything the rest of my life. And, beyond just the contract that he'd get, that's the truth. Micah Parsons becomes that dude that takes the Cowboys to a Super Bowl. Yeah. You'll forever be up there with all of the Dallas Cowboys great. And in which case, we know where even some of the Cowboys that aren't so great are still making a pretty good living out there. Also, it's another interesting take from Micah Parsons. Taking his step to his game to the next level. Man, I'm ready to take everyone to the deep water. Everybody is comfortable when their knees are in the water. I hope everybody is prepared to go to the deep water in terms of my conditioning and where I'm at and how I'm ready to take on the season. So you start listening to Micah Parsons, and Micah, he's a beast. I think it's through the roof. I just hope everybody is ready. And you got to see if they can swim. I'm going to take them on an island. That dude, what's funny? What's funny is how when he was drafted, no matter what happens with some Cowboy fans, people are never going to be happy. Never going to be happy. A lot of people are like, why we draft that guy? He's got off the field issues. Cowboys screwed up. How are you looking at that right now? How are you looking at that right now? This guy is on a mission. And I remember talking to his dad. His dad says, when he says he's going to the Super Bowl, just like he said he was going to be playing for the Dallas Cowboys, he said, you better believe it. He said, don't bet against him. So if you're a betting man, bet on Micah Parsons. Micah, he's ready for big things, and he's ready to go places. And I wouldn't want to be the guy across the field standing in his way. That guy is an absolute positive beast. And he is not resting on what he has already done. He's looking at taking it to another level. And see, this is the difference between a guy like Chase Young versus Micah Parsons. Chase Young had natural God-given talent, and it was easy to be that dude. And when it came that first season, and he played well, got the Rookie of the Year, he kicked back and said, oh shit, this stuff is easy. This is no problem. I ain't got to put in the work. I'm already great. But the real guys that become the Hall of Famers, those guys that become game changers, they never, ever rest. They always try and keep reinventing themselves. They always try to get stronger. They always try and learn every in and out of every aspect of their game and how to maximize what they do with the guys around them for success. We always want to look at one guy to blame, but you got to remember, it doesn't matter how good Micah Parsons is if he doesn't have all those other guys going along with him. He can't do it on his own. And that's the thing about football. You can have 10 guys doing the right thing, but if one of them doesn't, then that play fails. And Micah Parsons recognizes that. He is going to make sure that everybody else is in there with that same attitude that he has. And that's what Charles Haley had. Now, Charles, he did it as a fear factor. And maybe this kinder, gentler NFL needs a guy like Micah Parsons that pumps you up as opposed to putting that foot in your ass. Either way, I think we're going to see great results out of Micah Parsons. I'll definitely be talking about this more tonight with my buddy Game Time Brian, and we'll definitely be talking about this next week, because this time next week we'll be in Canton, Ohio. The first preseason game will be done, and we'll be ready to see more of the Cowboys greats go into the Hall of Fame. See you guys at 9. Peace.